All of Europe is a war zone.
Let our family be our light.
The Hulu series We Were the Lucky Ones follows the members of a Polish Jewish family as they survived the Holocaust through luck and cleverness and just hiding in plain sight. The series is based on Georgia Hunter's 2017 novel, which was actually inspired by her own family's true history. Georgia Hunter joined us with more. Georgia, I'm so happy to meet you and congratulations. This is an incredible piece of work.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Thanks for having me.
Listen, I have to know, you were a producer on this. What did it feel like seeing these characters either acting on set or once you could see it on screen, to see them come alive?
My family, we will be together again.
It was mind-blowing. I will never forget walking through the set before we started shooting with the cast for the first time. So first of all, meeting my television relatives, my grandfather, Logan Lerman, Joey, who plays Helena, our cast. We have a huge ensemble, 12 main characters in our story.
Pepe, say goodbye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Next year in Jerusalem.
We all just kind of walked through very quietly and got very emotional. We felt like we were stepping back in time, and then seeing the film rolling and watching them embody these relatives in a way that was so beautiful and so real, authentic to not only who my relatives were, but to also to the cast members themselves. It was a really awe-inspiring and mind-blowing experience.
Unless there's a ring I missed.
Nope.
It's been 6 years.
You're not
gonna do better.
Yeah, Genick knows. He's dated everybody.
Yeah, I had no choice.
Georgia, is every one of the characters we meet in the series, are they all real people in your family?
They're all real people.
And how did you first learn about this story? It's a crazy tale of happenstance.
It is. You know, I did not grow up knowing about this part of my family history. That discovery came at 15, thanks to a high school English assignment when I sat down with my grandmother, Caroline. My grandfather's Addie, who you meet in the beginning of the book and also the show. And I discovered he came from this big family of Holocaust survivors. And then some years later, I found myself at a family reunion and started hearing stories that were unlike anything I'd ever heard before. Baby born in Siberia and a hike over the Austrian Alps, and a mother-daughter escape from the ghetto and a disguised circumcision. And they came, you know, on. And I remember thinking, how have I never heard these? And someone needs to write them down. And I think that's when the idea was lodged deep down inside. And it took me 8 years, but I set off in 2008 to unearth and record the story.
You know, Georgia, as I've told you, we've seen so many stories and documentaries and dramas about the Holocaust, right? Yet this one feels different from them all. It feels like a love story of a family who will do anything in their power to find each other, protect each other, and love each other, which is why ultimately I think that more people will be able to relate to this than any other story before.
This isn't a look back at history. This is one family experiencing extraordinary times. And yeah, you follow alongside them living history in the moment. And we only see what they see and know what they know and experience what they experience. And I think there's something, like you said, very powerful and visceral to that makes a story that's sometimes unfathomable when you look back in statistics and in history books, makes it feel relevant in a way that is in other mediums, perhaps, is hard to come by. And our cast and everybody involved in the production from the top down did such an incredible job of really just doing the story justice.
And I do think that anyone who had family who lived through the Holocaust, whether or not they were Jewish, who have lost their people along the way and never were able to reconnect, there has to be some really deep emotions about knowing that your people were trying to find each other in spite of incredible odds.
Yeah, I mean, that was really, they had this twofold mission, if you will, to survive, of course. And their story is so unique in that they were not in the camps. They were able to either pass as Aryan with false IDs or go into hiding or escape when they needed to escape. So they were constantly on the move, trying to stay one step ahead.
We're being sent east to the Lvov to fight. Now, yes, tonight. The Germans are coming.
but they were also trying to find each other. They're this huge family, and they scattered literally across 4 continents over 9 years. I mean, that's the span of our story. The scope is huge, but they never gave up hope that they would find each other again. And I think that at its core is so inspiring to me, at least.
I need to know what the reaction's been from the Jewish community.
Really, all around, it's been incredibly positive. I think people have been craving stories of hope. We are lucky without giving too much away. The title does a little bit of that. That this is a story of survival, of beating the odds. But I think, again, anytime you can experience a moment in history through a human lens and make it feel relevant and modern, you kind of dust off the sepia and step into the shoes and the hearts and minds of these people. Just this, again, an ordinary family. You can kind of imagine what it was like to be there. And so I think people they're coming into it from very different points. Some people can relate to the fact that it's a story about ancestry. It's something that stemmed from my grandfather's story, or some people relate to the Siberian piece, or some people relate to the Polish piece, or to the little baby Felicia being hid in a convent. Like, everybody has an interesting connection to it.
The reaction from your own family.
So I, out of politeness, let them know that I was going to be kind of touring around doing some screenings. And one of them was going to be in Washington, D.C. at the Holocaust Museum. And I think 28 of them came.
Wow.
Not only that, but we brought family artifacts that the museum kindly offered to keep on, in their permanent collections. We had a beautiful family gathering. They flew from Israel, France, Switzerland, Colombia, Brazil. And we were together for days, and they are so excited and so grateful and so happy about the way that this has turned out, which to me means everything.
Georgia Hunter telling a family love story, and we were the lucky ones. Thank you so much, and congratulations.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you for watching our YouTube channel. For more stories in your communities, click the subscribe button right here. You can also download our app or watch us on TV for the latest information, balanced coverage, weather updates every 10 minutes, and more. We'll see you then.